What's going on, Jerome's? I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. Now, I've said all the nice things about preseason. It's a time for middle and bottom of the roster guys to get a lot of run, but I can't take it. You tear me apart, Lisa. I just can't do it anymore. So mercifully, the preseason is nearing an end. 2 minutes left in the final one up at Denver. The Broncos have the ball. The Vikings just failed on 4th and 27. It's been sort of oogly. G-L-Y. You ain't got no alibi. It's not so great. But post-game show coming up, as well as 10 takeaways from the game that was, as the Vikings now barrel towards the regular season, opening 2 Sundays from now. Not this Sunday. Not next Sunday. Well, hold on. I'm really good with like calendars and stuff. So next one is so not this Sunday. Not next Sunday, but the Sunday after on September 11th, the Vikings will be opening up historic U.S. Bank Stadium against the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. Woo! It's good times. Plus, I do love this time of year where we're starting to get away from the muggy-ass hot weather. The State Fair is going on. College football is back, baby. Good times. As well as the National Football League and is back, as well as the Vikings' hopes and dreams are up here before they go down the effing drain. Happens, man. Thanks for coming along. I know that it's late on a Saturday, and plus the Saturdays, the weekend evenings this time of year. Well, maybe not tonight because it's been a monsoon in the Twin Cities, but they're generally very nice because the bugs, the mosquitoes, they're dying off. A campfire just hits different when it's nice and crisp and cool. There you go. Things going on, man. So mercifully, this game is about to end. Paul Allen, when he's not busy fawning over Alan Roach's voice or obsessing over Ryan Wright's size. Oh, by the way, so the wide right nickname, I don't know. I don't know if that's kosher or PC nowadays. So we're body shaming our punter. Who knows? But we got takeaways coming up. But actually, we'll just do takeaways now because, I mean, the game is basically in the bag. So Ryan Wright was the right choice. Wright had a couple of booming punts, including that 71-yarder that rolled out of bounds, rolled in the end zone. That's fine. But also that 68-yarder that went inside the 2, and 4 punts, 225 yards, 56+ yard average, which is fantastic. Also had 3 inside the 20. I mean, there's nothing better than that. Plus, didn't have any hold issues. Greg Joseph made all 3 of his kicks this evening, so you do love to see that. How many teams has Josh Johnson been on? I think he's been on all the teams. They got a flag. Of course, there's going to be a flag. Thanks. All right. Thanks a lot for coming along. If you got a question, want to answer, toss a couple bucks in the offensive pass interference. Look at us getting a couple calls. You, my friend, would be the belle of the ball. All right, let's watch 48. I don't really know what he did there. That's right. We'll certainly take it. Well, was the penalty? I don't have the sound on right now, so I don't even know if the penalty's on him. Doesn't matter. But Ryan Wright, he crushed it, man. Yeah. Plus Pat McAfee, we gotta bring that up. Pat McAfee, loving it for the brand because we were just waiting. I understand that this time of year, it's hard to parse out all these punters, but Pat McAfee got after, man. Just got home from the Colts game, turned on the Vikings-Broncos game, and first play I seen it. I saw the Stallion. This is a punter, and this is awesome. Just smoked a ball into Mile High. Now, most punters nowadays are looking like Jordan Berry, are looking like Colquitt, 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", 200 pounds, gangly, long arms, long legs, but Ryan Wright is just a tank, man. Just straight up diesel. I love it. So Wright does appear he was the right choice. Now, you have to take his punts with a grain of salt. Kid's got a fantastic leg, but also he was punting in the thin air of Denver, but sort of is what it is. Traveler, $2 in the super chat. At what point do we cut Mond? I think at this point, I think that they'll risk it trying to get him down to the practice squad. I'm a big Kellen Mond supporter. I don't think you necessarily need to burn a 53-man roster spot on him. I think that you'll take your chances getting him down to the practice squad. Maybe a team claims him, maybe they don't. But I think that there still is some potential there, enough to keep him in the sphere, but practice squad over 53. Also, my theory about Sean Mannion is I think obviously they'll have Cousins and Mullins on the 53. I think they'll cut Sean Mannion under the guise of if they need him, he'll be on the couch. He will be available because I don't think there will be a land rush to go out and sign Sean Mannion. So if poop does hit the fan, the Vikings could bring him back, but hopefully it does not. Now, is that Gatorade table? Do you think that's a full cooler or just a table? Either way, it looks pretty good. All right, so too much time for Kellen Mond. Too much time, man. All right, hold on for one more day. Things that go your way. So mercifully, we're done. Although I'm gonna miss Saturday Night Football with the Jeromes. A couple hundred of you guys all up in here. We're just watching preseason football together. You're probably having a cold one, maybe a scotch. Scotch sounds kind of good. Maybe I'll grab one after this. But let us know where you're watching from. Give a couple shout outs. It's fantastic. Oh, so we're doing takeaways. I'm really good at this, staying on task thing. So Ty Chandler is the absolute truth. Ty Chandler got after it again. Let's see. Let's pull up his stats. 5 carries, 44 yards, as well as he looked a lot better in pass protection. So he averaged 8.8 yards per carry. So he bookended the 3 preseason games by averaging 10 yards a carry versus the Raiders, and then 8.8 all up against the. Oh, I want that sweatsuit from Andrew Booth Jr. That looked good. Was that the Unreal UNRL? No, that's a Nike suit. Never mind. Looks really good either way. Chandler looked good. Kovac looked good. Also got the touchdown. King Kene on his couple of carries looked fantastic. Takeaway number 3. No clarity in the backup quarterback race. Well, we know that Mullins is going to be the backup for sure. And I actually have a theory that the Vikings purposely didn't trot Mullins out there in the final preseason game because it would have been a big ask for him. 3 days of practice, new system, even though he's played in similar ones before, new teammates. They're just going to down it. Oh, no, mama. No. Why? So they just knelt on it. Whatever. But it would have been a tough ask for Mullins. And if he would have looked bad, then I think there would have been a public fan backlash and uproar, all this stuff. Yeah. I think that it was smart for them to sit Mullins because he was really not set up for success. So now he's got 2 full weeks before the start of the season to get a number of practices in. And remember, he is only going to be QB2. So, yeah. And Mannion is what he is. I think that there might have been a world where if Sean Mannion came out and was gangbusters tonight, maybe the Vikings would hang on to him on the 53 until Mullins is ready to take over as QB2. I don't see that at this point. And Kellen Mond, same thing with Kellen Mond. If he would have shown up and shown out, he did have the beautiful ball to ISM, but he took a couple of really bad sacks. Certainly wasn't helped by drops from his receivers, but I don't know. Like, everything's up in the air. Like, I don't know. Let's see here. Gotta keep improving stuff, man. Yeah, here. Shoot. All right, so we got Connecticut, we got Lake Tahoe, we got New Mexico, San Diego, which is German for whale's vagina, Wisconsin, Kalamazoo, Memphis. I was walking in Memphis, San Marcos, Mille Lacs. Spent a lot of time on Mille Lacs as a kid. Want to get back there eventually. Buying up a new place. Florida. There you go. You guys are the best. Tight end 3 is still TBD. So Zach Davidson got himself off the mat. He had 4 catches for 47 yards. Also looked good in blocking. And then Nick Muse, your company's computer guy, had 1 catch for 11 yards, which is his high point, and then had 2 or 3 drops. It didn't look good. He wasn't as good in blocking as he was in the Niners game. So now, what do they do? At this point, even though Davidson was a Spielman pick and Muse was a Kwesi pick, I think I would keep Davidson on the roster. I would take my chances with Muse on the practice squad. There you go. 5, Ed Ingram is the starter. So even though Ingram started, well, Ingram dressed. He didn't play tonight, so I think that's a clear sign that Ed Ingram is going to be your starting right guard to begin the season. And it was good that they moved Jesse Davis around to the various guard spots, so he's working left and right guard. Chris Reed played right guard as well as second-team center. Schlutman played center. So the Vikings, they do have good offensive line depth, which is point number 6. Also, I think Blake Brandel is he got cooked at guard on the stunt on the T&E by Browning. Him and Timon Paris didn't communicate very well, which led to the strip sack fumble touchdown on Sean Mannion. But Brandel's not a guard. He's a fantastic tackle. I feel very confident in him as the backup swing tackle, so you're good to go there. But yeah, Ed Ingram, we're just waiting on the announcement. But yeah, he is going to start week 1 against the Greasy Grimy Green Bay Packers. Number 7, Miles Dorn, man. Come on down. Miles Dorn is a player. The pride of North Carolina. Come on and raise up. See here, Miles Dorn had 6 tackles, broke up 2 passes, and also had a FUBAR, penalty. Sort of is what it is. But did have that tip that resulted in Luigi Villain interception. I mean, Miles Dorn looked really good. Let's see. Let's bring up C. There you go. So, yeah, Miles Dorn looked good. And depending on what happens with Josh Metellus, because he left the game with an injury, I do think that Miles Dorn maybe makes a practice squad. I think it deserves to. Looked really good. Punt return is still blah. So, ISM is going to win this job by default. He did have one nice return, but even some of his fair catches were sort of questionable in terms of security. A little bit worried, but what are you going to do at this point? Also, with Jalen Naylor going down with an injury, I do think that he may have won the job by default. Whatever. Then, let's see what else we got here. Luigi Villain had himself a good game. It is noticeable that, I don't know the snap counts off the top of my head, but he did get more work than McLeod. Also got more work than Patrick Jones. But yeah, I think maybe they're just trying to get a good look at him. He had 2 tackles, broke up a pass, also set the edge nicely against the run. Of course, had that interception, and also the GD injuries, man. So T.Y. McGill left the game with an ankle. Troy Dye left the game with a foot injury. Josh Metellus was banged up. Asamoah left briefly and then came back. BC Johnson went down with a knee injury. Hopefully that's not serious. And Jalen Naylor has a concussion. Other than that, they look really good, but that's the risk you run. A preseason game is still a football game. There's still going to be full contact out there. Wang WVang 0013 $2 in super chat. Do you worry that the starters will be rusty? No, I don't, because the Vikings, the starters will practice next week, and then they'll have a full week of practice ahead of the Packers game. And the guys are veterans. They've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. They've been working together all offseason, all training camp, all joint practices against the Niners, all scrimmage on Thursday. So I'm not worried at all. And frankly, I'm really excited because all the hype about the Kevin O'Connell offense and the Ed Dontel defense, we haven't seen it with the stars. We haven't seen it with the starters and the ones. So just unleashing that at home against a wounded enemy, the Greasy Grimy Green Bay Packers. I love it, man. Absolutely can't wait. Hey, let us know where you're watching from. I'll give a couple shout outs. Yeah, I'm worried about Kalamana. I think it may be over for him, which kind of sucks. But, well, maybe not over. I still think that the Vikings could and should hang on to him as a potential piece, but he's clearly not quarterback 2, hence why they traded for Mullins. So who knows? Who really knows? All right. Let's see the rest of it. Oh, Mike Boone looked really good. Mike Boone looked fantastic, man. Basically, you do worry about the run defense of Donatel's second and third teamers, but I mean that's second and third team guys running with the ones. You got Diesel Dalvin, Harrison Phillips, Armand for Watts, and got Kendricks and got Jordan Hicks out there. So hopefully they're going to be solid against the run. Plus Daniil and Zadarius will get their hands dirty as well. Koback, I like Brian Koback a lot. I think that he's got more upside than preseason superstar last year, A.J. Rose, hence why Koback was a UDFA tryout, and then they signed him to the 90-man. They cut A.J. Rose. Let's see here, a couple shout-outs. We got Fargo in the house, Washington State, we got Iowa, we got Glendale, California, Marina Del Rey, Mankato, home of Mankato State University Community College. Harrisburg, South Dakota, what's up? Warsaw, Missouri. Pennsylvania. North Carolina, come on, raise up. Shakopee. Let's see here. San Diego. All up in there again. So I do like Kovac. I think that he does have some potential. I think that his pass blocking is pretty decent, but obviously the Vikings are super deep at running back. Maybe they'll keep him on the practice squad, but with Dalvin, Madison, King Kene, as well as Ty Chandler, I mean, he's not going to be making the 53. So here, Kene. Yeah, King Kene did have that fumble. Not too worried about it. I'm worried about him developing as an all-around running back. Maybe he's just a running down and kick returner guy, which, I mean, frankly, for a 4th-round pick, that's a good return. But I do think a guy like Ty Chandler has a better chance to be a true all-around running back where he's playing early downs, he's playing passing downs. What's really shocking is if you watch some Chandler tape, just the balance. Just the balance is absolutely insane. Great agility as well. So I'm excited about the future of Ty Chandler, man. Let's see, receivers. ISM had himself a couple of nice catches, also had that nice return. So overall, I think that he was a winner. Davidson greatly helped out his cause after the turd of a game that he turned in against the Niners. Tristan Jackson had that really horrific drop. I mean, Kellen Mond, as much as Kellen Mond does have faults, and he certainly does, he takes some bad sacks. The awareness isn't there the way that you would like it. I mean, he has been plagued by really bad drops. Some just completely mind-numbing, right in the hands, horrific drops over the last couple of games, but sort of is what it is there. Let's see, Jalen Naylor. Really unfortunate with Naylor going down with that concussion. Defensively, Brown had 10 tackles. Chris Boyd had kind of an up-and-down game. He gave up some big plays in coverage, but also it appeared like they were playing off zone. So that's not necessarily his issue. Also had a couple of nice pass breakups. Asamoah, glad that he returned after that injury. Miles Dorn's flying around making some plays like that. Then what else really stood out? I think James Lynch might be a long shot to make this team. Same thing with Jalen Twyman, which is really unfortunate. But a couple guys I really liked. Actually, let's pull up the sheets. There we go. Nailed it. So I think that the Vikings will probably keep 6 interior linemen, including McGill. Hopefully that injury isn't too bad. But I think Usaizi's going to make the roster. I don't think they'll chance trying to get him down to the practice squad. So I do think that Twyman, James Lynch, they may be on the outside looking in. It's really unfortunate, but it is what it is. Traveler $5 a super chat. A Las Vegas meetup for us West Coast Vikes fans. I am planning to go to Vegas during the bye week, except I'm planning to go during the week. So maybe a little bit sketchy trying to get like an organized thing. Although we could look at the weekend. Now that I'm talking about it out loud. I don't know. See here, Asamoah. Well, the problem that the Vikings had is that since they sat so many players, they were basically out of inside linebackers. So Troy Dye went down with a pretty serious injury. So they had to trot Asamoah back out there, who may have been compromised with William Kwenku, who I liked a lot. Secondary-wise, Evans had sort of a meh game. Nickerson was okay. Boyd was up and down. Metellus got hurt. So Dorn and Brown played basically the entire game. I mean, Ryan Wright is that dude. Ryan Wright. So maybe I was being a little bit too conservative, always siding with Jordan Berry. And Jordan Berry was perfectly fine. But Ryan Wright has that upside, man. And as long as his holding is fine, I think that's the area where Berry had the advantage over him. But as long as Wright is fine, because Joseph had no issues with all 3 of his kicks tonight, I mean, sky could be the limit. I mean, Ryan Wright could be marketable as the giant punter. It'd just be fantastic, man. Offensively, let's see here. Pretty much covered everything. Wide receiver 6 right now. I'm a little bit concerned about the BC Johnson injury. Hopefully that doesn't factor in. Naylor, I mean, if he just had a concussion, he'll be fine in a couple weeks. So maybe he makes a roster, but the fact that ISM, I think, has secured the punt return job, maybe they just put him on the practice squad. Jackson didn't certainly didn't help himself with that drop. Myron Mitchell, I think, is running behind. So I don't know. It's completely up in the air for wide receiver 5-6 right now, because I think it's clearly Jefferson, Thielen, KJ, ISM. But after that, who really knows? Tight end 3. Right now, if I had to bet, I would bet on Davidson. Maybe, they could just practice squad Ellison or Muse. And then offensive line, I'm still sticking with my prediction that they'll have 9 on the roster: Darisaw, Ezra, Bradbury, Jesse Davis, Ed Ingram starting, by the way, Brian O'Neill, and then Brandel, Schlutman, the Dutch pronunciation, Chris Reed, and Jesse Davis as your 9, and then Oli Udoh, maybe Vidarian Lowe on the practice squad. It's possible. I think it's over for Wyatt Davis. I think it's over for Timon Paris. I think it's over for my guy Kyle Hinton as well. So that's really unfortunate. But again, things happen. Let's see. See, I don't know why. We'll have to work on the chat filters because they keep filtering out ass. And ass is not a bad word. Ass. Whatever, man. But anyways, it's late. We're going to do the winners and losers video here in a sec. But yeah, Vikings fall to the Denver Broncos in the preseason finale. But thankfully, thank God, the preseason is finally done. But that's it. That's our 10 takeaways from the game. Vikings lose 23-13. The preseason's over. Next time the Vikings take the field will be week 1 against the Greasy Grandma Green Bay Packers. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little